Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fatima, and on today's program we're going to be making a chicken and chickpea soup. Now, when it comes to Ramadan and fasting, it's best not to overload your stomach with very heavy dishes. This is a really light and simple, healthy and nutritious dish which doesn't actually need much to be served with it at all. So I'm going to start by first of all chopping my fresh vegetables. Now, when you're making soup, it's really important that you get lots of flavour into the actual stock itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up these different vegetables into small cubes, because this is going to give a lot of flavour to our soup. Not only is it going to give us a lot of flavour, but it's really healthy for us. So first of all, I'm going to chop my carrots. Now you can chop them finely or you can chop them into chunks, whichever one you prefer. I'm just going to chop them into chunks because I like the soup to have a bit of bite to it. Okay, so I've chopped my carrots, and next I'm going to take my celery. Now, not many people actually like celery when it's raw, but most people don't realise that when you buy a vegetable stock, the basis of the vegetable stock is normally celery, because actually when it's cooked it gives a really delicious taste to it. So I'm just going to chop my celery. And the good thing about this soup is you can use lots of different vegetables. So if there's something here that you don't feel like putting in your dish, you can substitute it for something else. Now the next ingredient I have is red pepper. Again, it's really tasty, and when you actually fry it and cook it, it has a completely different flavour to it altogether. It's also really healthy again. You really need a nutrition-rich soup when it comes to Ramadan. So as you can see also, the soup is very colourful. What's amazing is that we have all these vegetables that we can choose from, and we're fortunate that Allah has made such a wide variety of different vegetables. And normally they say that when you combine all the different colours of vegetables together, you get the most amount of nutrients. Now these vegetables are finished, I'm going to start chopping my onions. Now I'll start to chop the onions. Now most soups have a base of onions in them. Now I know a lot of people actually add the onions to the broth and boil it before frying it. But I find that if you fry it ever so slightly in a little bit of oil, it brings out the flavour much more and gives a sweetness to the soup, which is delicious. There we have the chopped onions. Just going to push those to one side. Now I've chosen to put garlic into the soup because it gives it a really nice flavour, and I know that a lot of people during Ramadan choose not to use garlic because they're worried about the smell. But you can always have some parsley after your meal, about 10-15 minutes afterwards, because that will help to get rid of some of the smell. And I've only used one clove here, but if you don't want to use the garlic, it's not a problem. You can just take it out. There's enough flavour in the soup, but I just like to personally add it. So. Okay, now that's all my vegetables chopped, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take them over to the frying pan. So first of all, I'm going to add my plate of vegetables. And now I'm going to add my onions and my garlic. Cover the pan and leave to cook for a further 5 minutes so the spices really blend well with the vegetables. So now your vegetables should be finished, and as you can see they should have a nice lovely golden brown colour to them. Now earlier I boiled 1 whole chicken in a large pan of water. So this is simply chicken stock with a bit of salt in it. Once it had boiled, I separated the chicken meat from the skin and the bones, and I put that to one side. If you don't have chicken stock already prepared, or you don't have time to do it on the day, you can alternatively use a vegetable stock and use leftover cooked chicken if you don't have the stock. So for our stock, I'm going to add some tomatoes, but I'm actually going to puree them and add them to the stock to give the soup a nice flavour. I'm just going to blend these. Add this to your stock. So now that I've added the tomatoes, I'm going to add my cooked vegetables. So as you can see, the vegetables have got a nice brown colour and they have a really wonderful smell to them. And a lot of the water's actually come out from the vegetables themselves and it's sitting at the bottom of the pan. So we're going to add that to the soup as well, so we're not going to lose any flavour. Now I'm going to put the stock, which you can see has now got a lovely colour, onto the stove. Okay, so the soup's been boiling up now for 15 minutes. The next thing I'm going to add is the chickpeas. Now these are already cooked, so they don't actually take a long time to cook in the soup. So I'm going to add these to my soup. So 15 minutes later and your soup should be done. If you would like the soup to have a thicker consistency, you can actually leave it for a good hour or 2 hours to cook. It won't affect it too much. So to serve, I'm just going to take 1 lemon and I'm going to take some fresh coriander and I'm just going to chop lightly. Now, herbs are really good for you, especially during Ramadan for the extra nutrients. And just to enhance the flavour of the vegetables in the soup, I'm just going to squeeze some lemon. And then you can serve with some homemade bread rolls. And the reason I say bread rolls is the 6th Imam, Imam Jafar as-Sadiq alayhi salam, actually narrated that of all the food in the heaven and the earth, the best thing to eat with bread is meat. So you already have your chickpeas there and you have your meat, so you don't need rice, you can use bread rolls. So the main ingredient that we've used in this dish today is chicken, and meat is actually mentioned in the Quran in Surah 52, Ayah 22. And it's amazing really to know that so many different things are mentioned in the Quran. So this Ramadan we really should make the most of it and try to read the Quran more than once, twice, however many times the better. Better still, why not get a needy person to recite the Quran on your behalf, so that not only do you get the sawab of helping somebody in need, but you also get the additional sawab of reading the Quran. For more information, visit our website. Join me next time for more delicious recipes that you can enjoy this Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
For more information on ways you can make the most of your Ramadan this year, visit us at www.ramadanforyou.com.